Hey, shalom, shalom. We are the real Hebrew Israelites, come to you week in and week out, prophesying the return of the Most High and His heavenly Son. All praises, honor, glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles out in New York, great millstone of GMS. Honors to all Achim around the planet, lifting up the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and truth and sincerity. This is the brother Uriah from Great Millstone, Chicago, and just coming to you with another lesson. The vetting process of the Lord is real. The vetting process of the Lord is real. Okay, this is 1 Timothy 5:22. Lay hands suddenly on no man, neither be partaker of other men's sins. Keep thyself pure. All right. The scripture says, lay hands suddenly on no man. Okay, what does that mean? See, first of all, how quickly could you put your hands on somebody? If you don't know them, can you just walk up to them and just grab them like, hey, how you doing? And put your arm around their shoulder and shit? No, motherfucker, like, hold on, nigga, I don't know you. Back up. All right? That's on one level. But then you got men who come up to you and it's like, hey, man, I believe, man. I've been watching y'all for 1,000 years. I've been, seeing your video and this video. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai HaMashiach. This and that, right? And if you sit there and you bring him to your home, you bring him into your inner circle without proving him and proving a friend. The scripture says, prove all things and hold fast that which is good. That's Thessalonians, all right? 1 Thessalonians 5:21. Prove all things and hold fast that which is good. You still got to prove it. You got to prove it first, all right? The scripture says to prove a friend, all right? So the Lord is going to bring you by crooked ways to get you started, to understand where he's coming from if and when he's dealing with you. Now, hold on one second. I got to make a quick little thing, and I'm going to continue in 1 second. Okay, Salaki. So, like the scripture says, man, when you first come into this truth, in the book, in the Apocrypha, it'll tell you, I think it's in Wisdom of Solomon, that wisdom will deal with you by crooked ways. And it said it would torment you. Okay? He said he would torment you. Because guess what? The Most High is going to vet and prove that you're their friend. So when we're little children, we teach our children not to talk to strangers. Why? Because you don't know that person. And I remember my daughter asking one time, saying, "Oh, Dad, how you gonna meet somebody if you meet a stranger? You don't talk to strangers, Which I know she got from something, but in like a little joke form, or whatever. But and I start asking her seriously because we serious on certain things like that. But if it's not proven through, like if my friend, who's like my best friend, brings in one of his guys who he says, this is my guy, he cool, I might take his word for it. But even then, I'm still going to be a little mindful to see if he really that cool with my friend. And if I find out he's not, because it makes me think of my brother, back in the world. It was one of our guys who, growing up, he's an Arab guy, and he was, best friends with my brother, Yak. And I did not fuck with this guy. I'm like, man, fuck him. And I didn't say he's a heathen, but I was like, man, fuck him. He ain't us. And it really wasn't because he was an Arab. I just didn't like his energy and his spirit because he was a heathen. And I was like, man, I don't like him, man. I don't fuck with him, man. Fuck him. Stop hanging with this motherfucker. And he didn't give a fuck. They smoked their weed. They did their deed, whatever. And over time, we started dealing with the dude. But even to this day, it's never progressed to a deeper level. Now it's on a business level. Sometimes we might use the word, not abuse it, and hustle or something, and make money or whatever. But of course, once we got to the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai, it separated all that shit. All right, but you have to prove that friend, and that friend true colors or his true spirit over time is going to reveal itself. So looking at the vetting process of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai is going to say, hey, see this guy? He's came up to the line. See how he talks, see what kind of questions he asks, see what kind of spirit is coming in. Some brother's going to come in a loud spirit, quiet spirit, meek spirit. You never know. There's one dude, I was just talking to the Mighty Murph about it, Jeremiah, earlier today. All right? And there was one dude, he was basically clean shaven, had a little mustache. He started coming out to the camp. And he started coming, maybe about 2 or 3 weeks. And then one day Murph was like, man, this nigga agent. And he was like, no, I ain't agent. He said, this nigga agent. And he might have came a week or so after that, but then he just disappeared. All right? And it makes me think of the elder Yashwamba. He said the other day, he was like, man, if you're an agent, because we deal with agents, there are people who come up to the camp and they're agents, man. And it might be agents in the camp. All right? But what did he say? He said, man, if you are an agent, you're going to have to do 3 videos a week on your own. You got to come to camp faithfully. You got to come to the classes. You're going to have to, speak the talk, walk the walk. And that vetting process is real. Because guess what? You can do it for a little bit, but and Malcolm said it today, you're either going to come like the movie Asher that never came out. This was the premise of that movie. Dude was set up as an agent to take down a group of Israelites brothers in a camp, and the next thing you know, he started listening and reading and studying, going through the process, and ended up believing. You know what I'm saying? And he had a problem, because he was torn between being hired and then actually started becoming to believe. Okay, and that's the process, man. The vetting process is real. Okay, hold on one second. All right, and I wish I might have to do a part 2 to this and just go in depth, because if you go to the scriptures, man, it'll tell you. Make me think of Hezekiah, King Hezekiah. Babylonian entourage came over to visit the kingdom. He brought them in, showed them the gold, showed them the silver, showed the precious things. Let me see if I can pick that up. See if I can find that real quick while I'm waiting on my niece to come out. Hezekiah. All right, and see. Let's see if I can find it. But he showed all. Let's see. Let's see. Slacky, let me see if I can find it. Give me 1 second. All right, hold on 1 second. 2 Kings. The 2 Kings 20 and 13. I'm going to get a little bit off that bone. All right, at verse 12. At that time, Berodashbaladan, the son of Baladan, king of Babylon, sent letters and a present unto Hezekiah, for he had heard that Hezekiah had been sick. And Hezekiah hearkened unto them. So first of all, here goes Hezekiah. Oh, got a gift. What the scriptures say about somebody who get a gift. A gift destroys the heart, right? Because you get too fond, you get too connected. That's why we don't care about no birthday gifts, Christmas gifts, and all that shit. Just because somebody give you a gift don't mean they love you. Just because somebody give you a gift don't mean they truly care. Somebody will give you a gift just to get close to you, just to take advantage of you, okay? The Hezekiah hearkened to them and showed them all the house of his precious things, the silver, the gold, and the spices, and the precious ointment, and all the house of his armor, and all that was found in his treasures. There was nothing in his house, nor in all his dominion, that Hezekiah showed them not. He showed it off. He basically opened up his private parts to the Babylonians. Okay, this is how much gold. Oh, damn, he got $2,375,000. Okay, I need that. Oh, he got this side, so he got 5,000 this. He got 10,000 soldiers. Got 100,000 this. Got this. Okay, they did their calculations. Went back and said, we know how to get them. All right. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah. It's like it. Then came Isaiah the prophet unto King Hezekiah and said unto him, what said these men, and from whence came they unto thee? And Hezekiah said, oh, they are come from a far country, even from Babylon. And he said, what have they seen in that house? And Hezekiah answered, all the things that are in my house have they seen. There's nothing among my treasures that I have not showed them. And Isaiah said unto Hezekiah, hear the word of Yahweh. Behold, the days come that all that is in thine house, and that which thy fathers have laid up in store until this day, shall be carried unto Babylon. Nothing shall be left, saith the Lord. And of thy sons that shall issue from thee, which thou shalt beget, shall they take away, and they shall be eunuchs in the palace of the king of Babylon. Thus said Hezekiah unto Isaiah, good is the word of the Lord which thou hast spoken. And he said, it is not good if peace and truth be in my days. All right. So he opened up and showed him the goodies, laid hands suddenly on Baladan and company. And Baladan and company came and took advantage of him. You sit there as a camp leader, a camp head, a camp elder, and you lay your hands suddenly on somebody and bringing them in, you might bring in the very same cancer that's going to bring you down and take your camp down, take your men down. Okay? We vet everything. The scripture says, matter of fact, since I'm waiting, prove all things. I said it was in Thessalonians. Prove all. All right, make me think of King David didn't wear that armor because it wasn't proven. He didn't want to go fight Goliath, didn't prove it. Because he go out there and try to swing the sword and try to lift up a heavy shield. He didn't prove it and get really good and very, fast with it. All right, just like somebody grabbing some nunchuckers, all right, and then trying to beat somebody's ass and you haven't never used it before. And while you're trying to hit somebody and pulling it back, you hit your own self, busting your own kneecaps, busting your own head. All right. 1 Thessalonians 5:21, prove all things, hold fast that which is good. How do you know it's good? Because it's been proven. All right. I don't know if this is, I know this is in Proverbs. I don't know if this is the right wording. I don't know if it's sure steps. I forgot that. It's one of my favorite scripts. I forgot where it is. But basically making sure your steps are which is your path, the way you're walking is right. I forgot the scripture, and if I had the wording, I'll pull it up. I forgot the wording of it, but the essence is make sure thy steps, or it's not sure steps, it's something like that. Your footing, your placement, I forgot, but I believe it's in the book of Proverbs. But if we walk on the ground because we know it's solid, but if you walk on a trap hole or a trap, it's going to look solid, but as soon as you put your foot down, you're going to fall into the hole or the ditch. But we get so accustomed to walking that we don't make sure that the cement on the front of us is going to fall apart. We don't walk. If you see a sinkhole down the way and people seeing a big accident or something, then you might be cautious and be like, "Oh man, this stable ground, all right?" Or you find yourself in quicksand. You might, oh shit, let me get out of here real quick before I start sinking to the bottom. Not like that dude who ran and jumped in and said, I know how to get out of quicksand, and he went and ran in there with no rope, with no hedge around him, and just jumped up in there. And next thing you know, he was like, oh shit. And he started trying to do what he thought he can do, which what he was doing was making it worse. And what he ended up doing was drowning in the quicksand. Nobody there to help him. He had it all on videotape. Okay? The vetting process of the Lord is sure. It is real. All right? And then I'm getting a little bit frustrated now because I should have been out here. Hold on a second. But that's the spirit, because then I get a chance to go a little bit deeper into it. Crooked ways. All right. I forgot this old English. I always say you got to make sure you got it right with the old English. Sirach, it wasn't Muhammad, Sirach, Salakia. Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 4:17. And I'll go get a little bit off that bone. Verse 16. If a man commit himself unto her wisdom, he shall inherit her, and his generation shall hold her in possession. For at the first, when Moses just start dealing with you, she will walk with him by crooked ways, and bring fear and dread upon him, and torment him with her discipline, until she may trust his soul and try him by her laws. He's going to see if you're going to, if what he said. Matter of fact, it happened with Job. Yahweh told Shaitan, Satan, don't you see my servant Job? He's perfect. He eschews evil and what the bam. He could have just sat there and said, "This is what it is, Satan. I said it. I'm the Lord." No, he said, "Oh, go ahead on and say it. Test him out. See if it's true." All right. And he said, okay. And he touched all that he have, except he didn't kill him or mess with his body at the first. And then after he maintained his integrity, he came back and said, "Hey, yeah, that's because you got to fuck his body up." Then he going to say something. He said, "Well, then you can touch him, just don't kill him." So he afflicted his body, and Job maintained his integrity through the whole ordeal, and the Lord restored everything that he took away. The Lord vetted out Job and knew that Job was a righteous man. Okay? The vetting process of the Lord is sure, sound, and perfect. So that teaches us, elders, brothers, camp heads, so forth. When you're dealing with people in the world, when you're dealing with brothers coming up to the camp, prove all things. That's why the elders stop brothers just willy-nilly and just coming into the camps. You got to get vetted. Because brothers were, younger brothers too, and smaller camps and other camps were just letting anybody damn near come in. Because they, matter of fact, I'll get this one and I'm going to end on this one. This is one reason why. It said, beware sheeps. Let's see, I should come and get it. All right. Matthew 7:15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. All right. He said, beware of false prophets. Well, they come off as a prophet, but they're false. So they can look, seem like they're walking the walk, talking the talk. Hey, shalom. Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Mashiach. God, you're like, oh, he got the hawk on it. Don't be hawking it on my food. He got the hawk on it. And you sit there wooed by, oh, he got his garment, he got his fringes. All right? That don't mean shit if you don't back it up. All right? Beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ravening wolves. You should know them by their fruit. How fast does it take for a tree to grow fruit? You plant a seed in the ground and it grows up right away? No, it takes months just for the seed to sprout, to come as a small shoot, to come as a tender bud and plant, and then to start to sprout, fruits, vegetables, and leaves and so forth. And then when you see that, if the fruit comes out and the fruit is good, we know that's a good tree. But like that fig tree Yahweh Bashim Yahushua walked upon, and there was no figs on it. It was a bullshit ass tree. So Yahweh Shai said, curse that tree. And it withered immediately. Okay? He said, you should know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruit. Every tree that bringeth not forth good fruit is hewn down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits ye shall know them. All right? Not everyone that saith unto me, Lord, Lord, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashim, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that doeth the will of my Father, which is in heaven. All right? Many will say to me in that day, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name cast out devils? And thy name done many wonderful works? And then when I profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, you that work iniquity. All right? Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken unto him as a wise man which buildeth his house on a rock. All right? And you're going to finish reading that parable. When the winds came and blew, it stood. But that building on sand and with that untempered mortar, that shit's going to fall apart. All right? So you have to watch the tree, see if it starts bearing fruit, and show that fruit is good fruit. Not no bitter fruit, not no sour fruit, but good fruit. All right? So the vetting process of the Lord is real, sound, and if you don't meet and pass the gauntlet of the Lord, you're not going to make it. That's why baseball teams, football teams, basketball teams have tryouts. Motherfucker can talk all the game, man. I'm a beast when it comes down to basketball. I'm a beast, bro. I hit a home run across the 500 yards, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I can run a mile in two minutes. You know what I'm saying? And then you sit there and you invest in this guy, you give him all this and give him all that, and this motherfucker strike out, and his batting average is 018. You know what I'm saying? He's 3 for 40 from the field goal percentage. You know what I'm saying? This nigga keep dropping the football, keep getting stripped. All right. So it's a vetting process. It's a proving process. The righteous goes through it. All right. So hopefully this has been edifying. Hold on. All right, so hopefully this has been edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Shabbat Shem, HaRachakodash. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles out in New York at Great Millstone, GMS. Honors to all Akim around the planet, lifting up the name of Yahweh, Yahweh Shai, and truth and sincerity. We're going to see Shalom and about the ball. Prove it, friend.